Guys, context matters. I just had a long conversation with somebody I would consider a new friend in Durham, and he teaches at UNC Durham. And it was about race and context and teaching music in a racial context, and particularly to ADHD and ADHD and autistic people. His big question to me on TikTok originally, but then in this conversation was, why have you not brought up the learning context of Black people? Because there are things about that context that change what you're talking about. He looked at me and he was like, there are things that you suggest that I cannot tell my students to do. So let's get back to the brain for a minute. I talk about the brain as the forebrain, the hindbrain, and the midbrain, with the forebrain being the trunk of your mental car, the hindbrain being the engine of your mental car, and the midbrain, the emotional centers, being the driver. I was talking to another friend yesterday and she was telling me that her dad built this house on the side of a hill and she learned to drive stick on the side of a hill. I think about people in Alaska and in Finland. I mean, in Finland, it takes 2 years to get your driver's license because you have to learn how to skid and do all those things. They're crazy. What I'm saying is, what a driver experiences will inform what they want to put in the trunk and how they use their engine. Now, when this guy was talking to me, my autism went, okay, but and what about this? And what about this? And I've traveled all over the world and I've had conversations with so many people that immediately I started thinking about all the contexts that emotional midbrains might be in. So if you're like me and you're an overthinker and an expanded thinker, just take a breath with me. We'll both take breaths together. And I want you to think about the people that you are responsible for, the people that you care for in your teaching. I'm working right now on a book on music performance anxiety, a research book on music performance anxiety, and not all the advice in there is going to work for all of your drivers, all of your students' drivers. I'm doing another one on practice. Guess what? Not all those practice techniques are going to work with your particular students. My personal goal is to make this brain smart, emotionally intelligent music instruction as good and as useful to as many people as I can. And there will be times when the things that I suggest are too from my context to work. So let me tell you what I have always felt about the information that I'm giving you. I have always felt like if I am the only one cutting a facet in a diamond, that is not a brilliant diamond. We have a bunch of information now about music in the brain, and the best way to get it shining as far and as beautifully as possible is to cut as many facets as possible. So I'll tell you what, in the comments, tell me where you're from, tell me something unique about the context that you're in, and let me start thinking about this. Talk to you later.